What's going on, you guys? It's me back again for another video, and today I'm going to be giving you a list of 10 things to buy for the men in your life, specifically the gay men, but you know, this could go either way. And honestly, if you want to give any of these gifts to your 50-year-old aunt, then I think they would work pretty well, but I'm trying to think, would any of them be like really offensive to give to your aunt? I don't think so, but just specifically these are things that I really like, the guys in my life I know would really like, so that's kind of the demographic this is aimed for. However, again, you could give these gifts to anyone, and I think that they would like them. I'm saying that with my chest. I really think these are some pretty solid gifts, and I tried to go away from just the basic gifts that people would recommend from a YouTube video. Like, there was this meme I saw the other day that was like, why is every gift set list for men, it's like whiskey flavored hunting knife flannel shirt, like something crazy like that. And that's true, that's literally all they are, is just like bottles of whiskey, flannel, a hunting knife, even though you live in downtown Pittsburgh. But yeah, so I'm trying to depart a little bit from that, and given the fact that the last time I recorded this video it was over 30 minutes long, I think we're gonna get right into it because I do not have it in me to edit all that again. Like I said in the last video, I tried to batch film a couple of these, and this is one of them, and then it came out really blurry. So if this video is still blurry, then I guess that's just God's will, and we're going with that because I don't have it in me to film this video a third time. Alright, product one is the Hinoki Fantôme by Boy Smells Candle. Now, this one definitely I'm holding up because I actually have it. I actually really enjoy this candle scent. It's one of my favorite candles. Now, a little history of me in this candle is I actually got the large version of this candle for my birthday, I think last year. And I actually ended up returning it because it just didn't smell like, honestly, any candle I'd smelled before. It's a very punchy scent. If I could compare it to anything, it would be a strong black pepper. It's a very masculine scent. So I got it, didn't like it, and I was like, I feel like there's a candle I would like more, so I'm gonna send it back. So I did that. And then just like pure happenstance, a different person got me a late, was it a late birthday gift? Yeah, they got me a late birthday gift because they had gotten me something before, but then it didn't fit. It was a family member, so then they were like, that's fine, I'll return it, I'll get you something else. And they actually got me a sampler set of mini candles, and the candle that I had just returned was on it, so I was able to get a second chance with this candle. So I got it and then was smelling it, and I was like, it still smells a little weird, but I'm gonna like burn it. And then just over time I grew to love this scent, and out of like the 6 or 7 candles that were in the set that I got, this one ended up being my favorite. So it's a little bit different, and if you get it and then decide like it's not quite for you, I'd say give it some time, because genuinely this has become one of my favorite scents. It's just like very masculine, very earthy, and it just smells different, you know? It's like you get all these different candles and over time they start kind of all smelling the same, and this one definitely does not have that problem. So first on the list, let's get on to number 2. Number 2 is Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller. Now, this is one of my favorite books of all time. In fact, I'm pretty sure every book that Madeline Miller has written is one of my favorite books of all time. She has 2 novels and 1 short story that I actually just went back and reread. However, specifically for the gays, this one is more of a gay romance novel, but it's also a retelling of some Greek myths. So there's a little bit of that. If you know one of those Roman Empire gays who's really into like history and folklore and retelling of stories, it's kind of like grown-up Percy Jackson a little bit. But yeah, the story is so good, she writes so well, you could tell she really took her time with all of the characters and going into their motivations and trying to just dig deeper into the story than what a lot of people would previously be familiar with. So it's one of my favorites. It definitely has its heartbreak moments, so if you're not trying to read a book that's going to make you like a little bit sad at times, then maybe this isn't for you. But I definitely think the quality of the writing and just the overall sweetness of the love story outweighs the bits of tragedy, because you know, it's like it's a Greek, what's the word, it's Greek mythology. Like, it's not going to end well for anyone, but it's definitely a good read, and I suggest it. And you know, if you want to go all out and get some of her other books for the people in your life, I highly suggest it, because it's Circe and I think Galatea is the short story. Both of them are excellent, and they've been out for a while now, so you could probably find a decent deal somewhere. I'm going to link everything down below, but you are more than welcome to go deal hunting. I'm just kind of doing cursory, this list, aside from being specific gifts, is also kind of a jumping off point because it might make you think of something you wouldn't have otherwise thought of. Number 3 on the list is a pair of Vuori tights for men. Now, when I first got these, because I also got these as a birthday gift, and now since it's been a while, I feel like I've had time to play around with these gifts and get used to using them and see if I can actually incorporate them in their life, because I really try not to bring too many just like things into my life. I try to keep a somewhat curated selection of what I have, especially in my closet, because my closet's not very big, so I can't afford to just be filling it with all this stuff that I never wear because there's just not room for it. But when I got the tights, I originally got them because they were on sale, and the ones I linked below, I'm not sure if they're the exact same ones because there's a little bit of embossing on these ones that mine do not have. However, they're similar and they're the same brand, so I'm sure they're gonna fit the same way as the other ones. I wasn't originally sure if I was going to wear them too much because, you know, it's like walking around with leggings. It's not really in vogue for men to wear leggings. However, you will see it when people go to the gym and they'll like have these tights on and then they'll put shorts on underneath them. So I was thinking that could be something, especially as we're getting close to winter. It gets pretty cold here, and a few times I've gone to the gym, it's actually been quite cold, so it's nice to just like have a warming layer, because even sometimes inside of the gym is a little bit cold. And that's kind of the saving grace for these, because even though you don't just like put on leggings and walk around, maybe you do, power to you. If you got the legs for it, you got the ass for it, then like great. You're doing the world a favor by wearing them in public. But for me personally, I wasn't totally sure if I was going to wear them, and then as I put them on and started wearing them to the gym, I realized they were just a game changer for me. It's so nice to have something under gym shorts when you're walking around, and like especially walking to and from your car, and especially if it's really cold and your car takes a while to warm up. It's so nice to be able to have something you can just slip on under these shorts that aren't like a full sweatpants layer that you're then gonna have to take off and put in a locker somewhere when you get to the gym. Because just personally, I don't like doing that. I don't like spending 5 minutes at the beginning and end of my gym session going and getting everything in and out of a locker. I try to keep things that I could just keep on me, like a little bag or my water bottle. But yeah, so wearing these tights under the shorts have been great. And also for me personally, because I go hiking a lot, I try to spend a decent amount of time in nature. During the winter, that gets pretty challenging, especially when it's getting really, really cold. So I find that it's a really easy thing for me to layer, as opposed to putting on 3 pairs of sweatpants, which starts to get really bulky really quickly. I find that if I just have an underlayer of some nice tights and then just can put some warm pants on over it, it does a really great job at insulating the heat in, so that way I'm not getting cold as I'm walking around. The next one on the list is the quilted set from UGG. Now, I saw these and I immediately fell in love with them, and there's a very real chance that I get them for myself for Christmas, because I do not currently own them. And I'm pretty sure if you click on the link, they're still on sale. So they're both around $90, which is a pretty decent price for some really high quality clothing, because me personally, I just try to avoid fast fashion in any way that I can, just because I don't want to waste time with clothes that are just going to get holes in them and then I'm going to have to end up throwing away, or they're just cheap, or they're made in relatively poor labor conditions. So I try to get things that are a little bit higher quality, just so even overall I'm not having to buy as much stuff. And while I don't own those, I do own a lot of things from UGG. If you like this hoodie, this little pullover hoodie, it is also from UGG, just this little waffle knit. Everything that I've bought from them, I've ended up really enjoying. So I definitely think this UGG set, it's a little bit different. It's a little more on the edgier side of fashion. It's not something you would just like normally see people walking around in, but it's also not so obscure that you're going to constantly be turning heads and have people like come up to you and like ask you what you're wearing. It looks nice, it looks put together, it's a little different, so it's a little bit of a statement, but at the same time it's comfortable, it's different, it's just overall I think it looks really nice. So that could be a good gift for someone, especially someone who likes being comfortable, because who doesn't like being comfortable in this day and age? You know, why not walk around wearing basically a quilt all over your body? That sounds like a great time to me. Next thing on the list, we gotta keep moving because I'm seeing the clock running up on my camera, so I don't want to be talking for an hour trying to put this out. The next one on the list is the Lush solid perfumes. Now, I really enjoy Lush, but if you know anything about Lush, you know that they are expensive. And specifically their perfumes are like insanely expensive. I don't know what they put in them. I know they're ethical. I know they like try to keep out a lot of the bad chemicals that you would otherwise find in perfume. So I understand to a degree why they're expensive, but some of these perfume bottles are like almost $200 and I just don't have it in me to spend that. However, the solid perfume bottles, you can get a really decent size. I mean, it seems like it's pretty small. I don't know exactly how small they are. I think maybe like I don't know, like width-wise, they're maybe like a little bigger than a quarter, but they last me so long. I've had some of these I have 2 now. One of them I've had for over a year, and I'm probably not even halfway done with the solid perfume. And literally you just dip your finger, rub it around a little bit, rub a little on your wrist, rub it together. Sometimes I rub it on my neck as well. But it's $16 for a cologne that's lasted me over a year. Now, to be fair, I don't use it every day, but I'd say I use it pretty regularly. So it's definitely a great deal, as opposed to, I think the next size up is like a mini bottle of the liquid perfume, and I believe it's over $60. So you're basically spending like a quarter of the price to get a really solid amount of products. So especially for people in your life who like a little bit nicer things, you don't want to feel like you're just getting them a cheap perfume. You want to get them something a little more elevated, but you don't want to spend $60 on a small bottle of what is mostly just water. So yeah, it's something that I've had a lot of experience with. It's something I get myself for my birthday pretty much every year now. I'll go into Lush and I'll get myself one of their containers of the solid perfume, and it's always worked out really well for me. So that could definitely be a great idea. And I also think a lot of people don't have a lot of experiences with solid perfumes, and in my opinion, they stay on a little better because you're rubbing it directly into your skin. Whereas when you're spraying a bottle of perfume, it seems like most of it just kind of dissipates in the air and I can't smell it after a while. But I normally can smell the Lush cologne that I put on hours after I put it on. So that's one of the gifts that I really strongly recommend, especially because I have a lot of experience with it. Another one of the things that I have a lot of experience with is a large hydro flask with a handle and a straw. And I brought it up because it's one of the things that I actually have. You can see the little logo, and this came in like the ombre, which I really like. And it also has this kind of like bendy straw, like it's not just like a solid, I don't know. For whatever reason, I can't put into words why I like that. However, I really do like it. And the straw actually comes out pretty easily, but you can see it like sticks in there, so it's not just gonna like fall out randomly. And it also has this nice thick handle. And while this one is the 40-ounce one, because I just drink a lot of water, and I think especially for people who are trying to drink more water, this can be a good thing. However, it's not so big. It has this tapered bottom to where it still fits in most cup holders. The only thing I can't fit it into is the cup holder that's on like the side of my door, but I don't really do that anyway, so all of my regular cup holders in my car, it fits in just fine. So I really like it. I think it's a great gift. Now, if you already have 10 water bottles, maybe this isn't the one for you to buy, but if you're like me and you just like having 1 or 2 really solid, good water bottles that you can drink out of, this is what I take with me to the gym, and I go to the gym like 5 days a week. It's pretty easy to clean. Like I said, you can pull a straw out. It's not a mess. I know I've had some with straw contraptions that are just a pain to clean, so this is one that I highly recommend. One of my family members had this, and I saw it and it looked really cool, so then I immediately bought it, and it was a really great purchase. I use it pretty much every day, and it's only like $40. And in fact, when I was researching this video, I checked, and I think it was on sale for like $30. So don't hold me to that, but it might be on sale right now, so it could be a really good purchase. One thing I will say is that over the course of months, there have been like little bits and scratches in the paint, and you can see there's like a little mark, where is it, like right here, that got almost immediately when I got it. So I'm not gonna say that the paint is bulletproof. The actual cup has held up really well. So just note that if after a couple months you get some like imperfections in the paint, that might happen. But I've also noticed that with pretty much every water bottle I had. So I think it's just one of those things, unless you get some crazy like protector over the paint, then maybe you could keep it somewhat indestructible. But for me, that's just really not something that bothers me, especially because it could be the case where like paint's actually chipping off, and that's not what this is. It just gets some scratch. So I would much rather have to deal with that as opposed to like paint actually falling off. So yeah, I'd say overall it's a pretty high quality product. Next on the list is another thing that I have direct experience with, and that is a Popsocket car mount, just because for me personally, I'm always using directions on my phone, and I don't like having to hold my phone, and I really try to avoid any kind of interaction with my phone while I'm driving at all, just because it's not safe. But having a way for me to post my phone up onto my car so that I'm not having to like hold it and look down and mess with it has been really great for me. There's a few different options. I'm not exactly sure which one I'm gonna link, so feel free to click around their website and see which one suits for you. The one I have is the vent clip car mount, and it's not always it's never fallen out. However, I do find myself having to like occasionally push it back in further, and the problem with it during the winter is when you have the heat on in your car, it's like hot air blowing directly onto your phone, which isn't good for your phone because it can overheat it. So you may need to put it on one of the vents that you can like close, Or they have another one that I believe, I don't know if it's like a suction cup or something, I think it is, that like suctions onto the dash of your car, and I've actually been considering trying that one, because for the most part it's not so cold where I like have to have the heat blasting in my car continuously, but that has been the one problem with it. But overall, I really like it. It's great. I mean, obviously it works if you have a Popsocket on your phone already, so that might be something you also need to invest in, but you can get them for pretty cheap, and I believe you can also get off-branded ones that are a lot cheaper, because sometimes I go through the Popsocket website and the actual Popsockets are insane, but the holders I believe are relatively affordable. I thought it was like $30. I could be making that up. I'll show the price, but if it's not, I'm sorry. Next on the list is something that's a little bit different, and I don't think a lot of people think that you can give these as Christmas gifts because it's a little bit inconvenient, but you absolutely can, and that is to pay for someone's piercing or tattoo. Now, I'm saying this personally because I've been thinking about getting my ears pierced again. I had them pierced like a decade ago and then I took them out, but I was thinking about getting that again, or maybe potentially a body piercing. When I was younger, I had one of my nipples pierced, and I'm like kind of missing the vibe of that, but it's definitely something that you could get someone for Christmas, especially if they had already brought up that they were considering doing it. And I'm not exactly sure how all piercing shops work, but I know there are some that offer gift cards. So for like a very easy experience, you could just get them a gift card to the shop. However, if it is like a piercing or something, especially a body piercing, not just like the ears piercing, I know a lot of people like to go with someone, so it could be a great activity to do with someone that you're close with, where you're like, oh hey, like you want this piercing, it's gonna be like $40, so that would be a great Christmas gift, and then also I will go with you to the studio to get it done. Because I remember when I got my nipple pierced, I like almost blacked out for a second, not even because it hurt, but just because of the feeling of the rod moving through my skin was like such an uncomfortable feeling. It was like so surreal. It's just not something I had felt before, because when you get your ears pierced, at least when you do it at like Claire's or something, they just use like the piercing gun, so it's pretty instantaneous, but like the actual feeling of the needle moving through my skin was like, ooh. So if I get it done again, I'm definitely going to make one of my friends come with me. So that could be a really great option, or like a really small tattoo, or if you just have a lot of money and want to pay for your friend's entire sleeve and it's like $3,000, like good for you. But my suggestion is more on the like, oh, they want a really small tattoo, or they want to get their cartilage pierced or something. But I think that could be a really great idea, and on top of that, it's like a bonding activity. It's something you can go out and do and spend a day doing, and just like make a day out of it. Get coffee or ice cream or go get dinner afterwards. I don't know, but yeah, that's definitely something I feel like a lot of people don't think about, but it's something you can do and would be a pretty good idea, especially, like I said, if someone had mentioned that they want to do it beforehand. All right, this next one on the list is a pretty practical gift, and maybe not super sexy or anything, and I know it's kind of a meme, people getting this for Christmas, but I do stand by it, and I do think it's a good idea, and that is a nice pair of Woolen socks. Now, I have some thicker, nicer socks. The ones I linked, I believe, is a 2-pack for $40, and it's great for me because my feet always get cold. My feet and my hands, I don't know why, they're always freezing. Whether or not I myself am actually cold, sometimes it's even like July, and for whatever reason, my feet and my hands are freezing. So a nice thick pair of socks are always great for me. And I know, like I said, it's kind of a meme getting somebody socks for Christmas, but I think there's a difference between going to Walmart and getting them a 12-pack and picking them out something that could actually improve the quality of their life, because some of the pairs of socks that I owned are much more nicely constructed to the point where it actually feels better to wear, so they don't have those like uncomfortable seams on the inside that just make everybody's life a little bit worse. But if you get someone an actual nice pair of well-constructed socks, and especially for the winter months, something like wool where it's going to keep them a lot warmer, or if they're going out, they're going hiking more, that could be a really great gift for someone. So I stand by that. It's a little practical, it's a little bit boring, but hey, you know, especially if you're looking for something, like you're just looking for those last couple gifts that's just like, I'm just not sure what to get them. That could be like a really versatile gift for someone. And if they're a well-made pair, then it's absolutely gonna make a difference in their life. All right, the last thing on this list is a snack tower from Williams-Sonoma. Now, I'm just gonna couch this by saying this gift is more of like a broad range of gifts as opposed to this specific one. But if I'm being honest, I was just really hungry when I was researching this, and I was Googling around for like fancy snacks you can get for Christmas, and this is the one that caught my eye just because it looked really delicious. One thing that I think Christmas can be really good for is getting someone gifts that they wouldn't otherwise buy for themselves, and I think just like a nice set of really high quality snacks can be great for someone, because it's not something you would like go to the store and be like, why would I do this when I can just get $1 box of candy, which is fine. And I think overall that's a good strategy. Like, you don't want to constantly buying yourself these like luxury snacks, but a set of really nice consumables, and there's hundreds of thousands of them, so feel free to go and do your own research on that and find something that really sticks. If you find something that looks really incredible, let me know down in the comments, because I'm always looking for high quality snacks. But getting someone just like a box of nice chocolates or nice snacks, or just like something specific they like. I know sometimes there are like subscription snack boxes, which always seem way too expensive for me, but you could also take a look at those, because sometimes they have like a Christmas deal, or just get your first box for half off. That could all be a really great gift for someone. So definitely not something to sleep on is high quality snacks. And one of my friends who's kind of bougie recently just bought someone one of these similar gift snack boxes from Williams-Sonoma, which is why they were even on my radar. So when I googled nice snack boxes and they popped up, I was like, oh. So yeah, it's my bougie friend approved. So for whatever that's worth, could be something that someone in your life really appreciates, especially as a stocking stuffer, or if someone's hosting a Christmas party and you just want to get them a little gift. So alright guys, that about wraps up this video. Let me know down in the comments what your thoughts were on any of the gifts that I suggested. Let me know if you have any recommendations yourself. Like I said, I'm still doing a little bit of Christmas browsing for some friends and family, so if you have any great ideas, let me know. And yeah, whether you want to get it for the gay man in your life, the lesbian, or your great Aunt Carol, just keep in mind what they actually like, but I think there's some pretty solid recommendations on this list. Alright you guys, we're gonna stop there, and I will see you in the next one. Alright, have a good one.